Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Cruella, starring Emma Stone and Emma Thompson, and it essentially acts as the live-action prequel to the 101 Dalmatians film. Now, when it comes to the Disney live-action reboots, they certainly do range from good to bad to why did they even make this other than just to make money. Now, when it comes to Cruella, it's actually an interesting take not only because it's a prequel to a pre-established story, giving the writers more breathing room to do what they want with the characters, but it also happens to be one of the darkest Disney live-action films that I've seen in a good long while, but its darkness is why I liked it so much. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that Estella, played by Emma Stone, is a quirky little fashion designer who wants to make it big in London, but when something tragic happens in her past involving this film's villain, the Baroness, played by Emma Thompson, she finds herself in London without parents and with only her two bumbling henchmen, Horace and Jasper, to fall back on. Anyways, she meets Horace and Jasper as kids. She happens to actually get hired by said Baroness, and she goes for a full-on Devil Wears Prada meets Count of Monte Cristo revenge story to try and get back at the Baroness any way she can. But that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. What I really liked about this film is that not only is it dark, it's creatively dark and mean-spirited in almost every single way. Everything from Cruella's scenes as a child to the various ways that she upstages the Baroness in the fashion scene, it all comes across as very fun when it comes to how mean the two women can be to each other. Mainly because the Baroness is just a classic Disney villain in that she treats her guards like disposable dirt, she fires employees for the most petty of reasons, and Emma Thompson just has this sense of classiness about her even when doing horrible, awful things. And Emma Stone's also great as Cruella herself. She gets to be a little more sympathetic than you'd expect from the one-dimensional antagonist she was in the original animated film, which is what all she needed to be. But she's not only able to pull off the English accent well, she's also just able to be as cruel as her name would imply. Plus, I really love the actors they chose to play Horace and Jasper, particularly Horace, who you might remember as Richard Jewell and as Stingray from the second season of Cobra Kai. On top of that, the costume design here is fantastic. These are some of the best looking outfits and some of the best looking sets that I've seen in a Disney live-action film since the 2020 Mulan. Only this has good writing and a good story to fall back on. And trust me when I say that this film certainly gets its twist down as well. Yeah, there are twists and turns here that I really did not see coming, even though there are some clunky ways in how it manages to connect to the original animated film, which is one of my only gripes with the film. You know, these movies have to try and connect to the original animated films in any way they can, especially when they're prequels to them, but it felt like their attempts to do so were some of the weaker parts of the film, particularly when they incorporate Roger and Anita in a way that honestly doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And don't even get me started on the mid-credit scene, that gives me more questions than actual answers. But, at the same time, its costume design, its writing, its deliciously mean-spirited tone, and especially its rocking soundtrack, filled with era-appropriate punk rocking tunes, certainly makes this one of the most unique films in Disney's library, in my opinion. But also, in my eyes, one of the best live-action Disney films I've seen in a while. That's why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. See you next time.